Matt, when you look at Trump's company, DJT, why do you think it has struggled so much? Is it really more structural weakness or more about volatility in the market?
Great to be with you. If you look at the Bloomberg terminal, it is one among almost 100 global media companies that has nothing but black space. It's as if it was the Epstein files on various sets of data. It's an empty set. In other words, there are no analyst forecasts to be found. There are no target prices for shares. Anything that you would expect in a normal company is missing. So that has, by the way, been the case with this company since its inception. And if you look at its performance, say before Trump was inaugurated, it has never gotten back to the price that it had when it was launched. Yeah. So all year long, and this is, by the way, you've noted, a year of winners. Every region in the world rallied. 84 indexes around the globe are up. Okay, his company is down. And even in this category that we're talking about, internet media companies, in the U.S., 15 of the 20 that he's in are all doing fine. They're all with gains. So he's in a minority, and he's dead last among those. And then in the global arena, he's got 97 peers that he's competing against. He's dead last there too. So this is an investment that has never captured the minds and hearts of investors, either domestically or globally. And as you said right at the outset, part of the reason is there's nothing to show for it.
It's sort of like the emperor has no clothes when you look at the terminal and go, wait a minute, where's some information on this company that I can actually trade on? So we know, though, the stock did see a nice pop recently when Trump Media and Technology Group said, we're going to buy in a stock deal $6.5 billion, I think it is.
Yeah, merging with a nuclear
fusion power company,
right.
TAE, which I want to talk to you about.
Let's change the subject.
I want to talk about that because this seems like an interesting pivot. You actually call it in your op-ed column a desperate pivot.
Yeah. Well, okay, so we've had a chance to think about that because it happened last week. And it just has not, for the rally that it's enjoyed, it's still, if you look at it on the Bloomberg, just
still
GP
down.
screen and go from January to present, it's still in the doldrums, even with this announcement. And part of it is, look, there's a history with Donald Trump and businesses, and it goes all the way back, actually, to the beginning of Bloomberg News, 1990, when he declared involuntary bankruptcy, Chapter 11, for his first big casino, Taj Mahal. And there would be 6 more like it. So
not a great track record.
Every business that he has started, save the only business you could argue that was really just entertainment. It was him as a performance. That's the only one that has succeeded. Everything else.
But even the meme coin, it started out the year strong,
correct.
The Trump meme coin, and now what is it? Not worth much of anything.
There's Melania coin too.
Right. But look, here we are at Bloomberg. We are very data driven. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And where you want to see data for this company, the Trump Media Entertainment, there is no data.
Yeah.
There are no analysts following it. This is kind of unheard of when you think about it. He's the president of the United States, right? He's the most important person, arguably a powerful person in the world. And there are no analysts following him?
I love your column because it has a ton of good nuggets. You said that Trump Media is the only company among its 20 domestic peers with no widely disseminated 12-month target share price, no revenue estimates, and no earnings forecast. Can you talk to us about the importance of having that and what the absence might mean?
Yeah, it's called transparency.
It's a new concept.
People cannot be serious investors without having an understanding from the equity and the people who own the equity, what is this relative value? And the fact that there is no understanding of relative value for Trump's company means that you're not going to see any data. And if you don't have analysts following it, you're certainly not going to have investors. This is a publicly traded company. So if you don't have analysts following a publicly traded company, why should anybody invest in it?
What about this power? It seemed to come out of nowhere, the fact that this company, Trump Media, wants to now make such a big investment in, I guess, clean energy in the way of power fusion. But when you look at his stance on, like, wind energy, for instance, he wants to put a stop on that. On so many levels, this seems like a conflict of interest as well, Matt. So, I mean, is this the real deal, him wanting to put all of this money behind power fusion? You know,
I think the one word that sums up Trump through and through is chaos. And investors don't like chaos. Serious investors, maybe traders do, but investors are not interested in chaos. And so here we are, it's now a few days since we got this announcement of this. You're right, I did call it a desperate pivot, after expanding into cryptocurrencies. And the market is not taking it actually as you would like it to.
Right.
It's not being considered as a remedy. It's another distraction. It's another diversion. And that's the history of Donald Trump's enterprises, is that one after the other. I mean, who goes broke owning a casino, right? I'm surprised people didn't talk about that way back in 2016, when he said, I'm a serious businessman. And said, really? I mean, who owns a casino and goes bankrupt 6 times?
We have around 1 minute left. I wonder what this tells you about the limit of personality-driven investing, because President Trump, he's the president. He has such a huge brand recognition. And if he can't use his name to pull up the weight of his stock, then what is the future of personality-driven investing?
Buyer beware are the 2 words that you should be thinking about, because it's not about personalities. It's ultimately about the product, whatever the product is. And he has yet to convince anybody, whether it's a meme coin or now this, Trump Entertainment, that he has a product that is going to succeed.